Well, I grew up in a dysfunctional family, and while there was an emphasis on trying to attend church because it was the right thing to do, there really wasn't a strong emphasis on any kind of personal relationship. I grew up in the Christian Reformed Church, lots of doctrine and dogma. So I grew up believing in God, but that He had pretty well busy, like didn't really think much about me, you know. Tried to get His attention a few times in life, but could realize that that just was kind of a no-go. Now, I wasn't looking for the right signs, obviously. I was looking for miracles, whereas God was trying to teach me something through the trials. Well, yeah, born into a family where mom's an alcoholic and abused drugs, mostly legal drugs, but serious abuse. I didn't realize necessarily that all families were as broken as mine, but I felt like most probably were. Well, it turns out that they really weren't. But to think about living in a home where you never invite friends over because you're afraid that they may actually be in harm's way because of your family, because of your mother, and that was natural for me. And not much of a childhood in the sense that never allowed to be a child, had to take care of myself, and it was kind of not only just assumed, but if I didn't take care of myself, nobody would know that I didn't anyway, you know. So you had to make a choice every day. So I tried to choose to do the right things, and as far as I could tell, be of help. So this is hard to believe, but I lived close enough from my school. I never had lunch at school, and I would make lunch for my mother, who was in bed, or sometimes not. If she wasn't, it was scary, but if she was in bed and apparently even asleep, then it was easier. And she would only drink, so I would make her eggnogs and anything I could throw together, and so that she could have some sustenance. And then I would give that to her, and then I would head back to school. To think that that's normal, but to me that was a normal thing. I mean, that's what I did. We had to pretend. Oh my land, that was the hardest part of all, pretending with people that everything was okay, you know. And my teachers, you know, how are you doing, Todd? Great, you know. That's where you learn to be a comedian. I mean, you learn to have fun because you can't tell the truth. The number one thing that I would say is that it was a culmination of a life that I wondered what would happen. I always wondered how I would feel when that happened, and to express that in the sense of God's grace is difficult to even put into words. I had already forgiven her deeply. There was never really any angst anymore. I always wondered what kind of parent I would be because of the kind of experience I had, and God had been so faithful in that process of the family that we have, and the kids that love the Lord. And so all of that created such a great, I think, litmus test for this process of her passing. But you know, one of the reasons that so many people that have dysfunctional family experiences, you are what you were when kind of experiences, so many people seek helping professions. And the reason is they're trying to heal themselves. And so I did the same thing. But in that process, what I discovered was that you can't do it yourself. There is no self-help book ever written that's going to help an individual really resolve these kinds of experiences in life. The Holy Spirit is the only entity that can do that. Anything you hang on to, you're using a crutch, and that's all it is a crutch. And you're using it to dismantle what the Holy Spirit, what the Lord wants to do in your life. And the power that comes from healing is incredible. The reason you don't look back is because you know what God has done with all of that damage and unhealthy life and turned it into good. And so that's why it's so easy to look forward. What is he going to do next? I view troubles in life as blessing. And of course, I mean, Scripture is just loaded with advice to say it should be. And so when I go through difficulties, I'm actually thankful for it. And it's weird to say, but deeply I'm thankful. I'm thankful because I know God is working through that difficulty to change me, to mold me into what he wants. And I'm very open for that. So those are blessing moments. So it isn't, the victim thing is all about you. The healing thing is all about him. And when you get to the healing thing, I'll tell you, there's no other way to live. So it's an amazing kind of an experience that, yes, I mean, I wouldn't be who I am today, and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if it hadn't been for the difficulties in life. And so I am so thankful today for those difficulties. So as difficult as it was for me, and as difficult as it is for anybody to go through trials, I'm sure it's a lot better than what we deserve. And when you start looking at it that way, everything in life changes, because everything's a blessing. Everything's a blessing.